Martin Campbell does seem to know how to make an action movie that's at least decent. I mean, am I wrong? Everybody, my name is Zack, and I love talking cinema and all things entertainment. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I really do appreciate you guys clicking on the video and stopping by the channel. I hope you enjoy your stay, because this time around, we're looking at The Protege. As I've mentioned, directed by Martin Campbell, who's actually also helmed some of my favorite James Bond films, including GoldenEye and Casino Royale especially. And this one stars Michael Keaton, Samuel L. Jackson, and the oh-so-badass Maggie Q leading the charge. Rescued as a child by the legendary assassin Moody, Anna is the world's most skilled contract killer, and as Anna becomes entangled with an enigmatic killer, their confrontation turns deadly, and the loose ends of a life spent killing weave themselves ever tighter. And honestly, if I were to dig any deeper into the premise of this movie, heavy spoilers. But I want you guys to experience this movie like I did. I went into this thing completely blank, not really knowing what it was about. Nothing of the sort. I mean, I knew it was an action movie, but the premise, forget about it. And hopefully this way, you guys can finish this movie exactly as pleasantly surprised as I was. The Protege, I think, was tons of fun. Martin Campbell has done it again. And I think in the same vein as an Edge of Darkness or The Foreigner recently, he has given us one of the most underrated action films of the entire year. And I've really started to notice a certain gritty, raw style that Campbell brings to his action films, like The Foreigner, for example. But along with the hardcore aspect of these fistfights, this movie has some really deep emotional depth to it. Especially with this badass main character played by Maggie Q. She was pretty fucking awesome in this film. Sure, she allows her character to be vulnerable in certain moments, but she's certainly one of the stronger female leads I've come across this year. She actually reminded me a lot of Karen Gillian in Gunpowder Milkshake, which came out I think not even a month ago. Both of these ladies are stoic, stone-cold killers, except, you know, in Maggie Q's case, I prefer her installment. Because in this case, this stone-cold character feels like it actually fits the narrative. And she is fantastic in these action scenes. She is kicking so much kinds of ass. She really takes no prisoners here. And the fights themselves are pretty unique in their own right. I really respected the choreography in these stunts, and Martin Campbell never really over-directs in these moments either. This is just the right level of editing and camera work to show us everything that's going on, clearly and vividly. And my god, I saw some brutality in this one. That's another thing I really respected about this film, guys. It really does feel like there's no strings attached, especially when it comes to the grittiness of these fights. There's one scene where Maggie Q takes on a bunch of cronies at a poolside. Like, goddamn. I also gotta talk about Samuel L. Jackson, who pretty much plays the mentor to Maggie Q's title character. And Sam Jackson is basically just playing himself, which isn't a bad thing at all, because he certainly brings that Samuel L. Jackson charm to the proceedings. Everything you would expect this guy to say, he pretty much says them. And also, without spoiling anything, Jackson's character is involved in a lot of the big dramatic reversals, which in turn lends itself to a lot of unpredictability. Speaking of, guys, the twists in this movie, certainly effective. I didn't see them coming one bit. It just had to take a lot of explaining by these characters in the screenplay to dig themselves out of the plot hole they created, which I think they did a fairly good job with. I'm still kind of on the fence with these plot twists, and I'll just leave it at that, given what they are, just due to spoilers. They're still kind of iffy, though. Which brings me to actually another issue I had with the film. There is certainly some vulgarity, which leads to a lot of really strange double entendre humor involving Michael Keaton, and I still don't necessarily think this entirely fit with the story they were trying to tell. There was one scene between Michael Keaton and this lead character in a fancy restaurant. Again, I'm not gonna give it all away, but the stuff that they say in this scene is just like, oh, big yikes. It's like the stuff, I don't even want to say it on the air because it was just that naughty. Literally the stuff they brought to the table. Don't get me wrong, don't think I'm bashing on Michael Keaton. He's good. He's solid in the movie. I'm just saying that there were some connections involving his character that were made which, again, without spoiling anything, they just feel so wishy-washy to me. And by the end of this movie, it feels like the movie knows what it wants to do with this character, but then again, it doesn't. Besides some iffy elements to this film, I'm certainly not upset that I sat through this. I still really enjoyed myself. I'm gonna give the Protege a B. There's definitely a lot of fun that you can have with the Protege, especially if you like the silly, over-the-top spy espionage type action movie. If that's you, I think this one will be right up your alley. Martin Campbell gives us yet another hidden gem in the action department. And the 3 stars, like I said, I think they all do wonders playing off of each other. Just prepare yourself to really suspend your disbelief and just get taken along for the ride. This is all just my opinion, of course. What did you guys think of the Protege? Have you seen it yet? Do you also think it's underrated like I did? And I'm also curious, what is your guys' favorite action movie so far of 2021? As always, guys, I love creating this content and discussing all of these new topics in the cinema with you. So go ahead and make some noise down in the comments section below, and let's just have a fun time. And hey, if this is your first time visiting the channel today, thank you all so very much for supporting the content. And do consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can. This is really beneficial to help me get this content out there. It's also completely free to you guys. You know what else would be really helpful is hitting this thumbs up button on your way out. That would be tremendous. And as per, stay tuned for loads of exciting new content hitting my channel very soon, including my 2 reviews that I just uploaded for The Night House and Reminiscence, which also hit theaters this past weekend. And I'm also going to be starting my Daniel Craig Bond playlist pretty soon with Casino Royale. I did mention that was also directed by Martin Campbell, correct? I would honestly say this is Martin Campbell's best movie overall, but you guys can probably get a glimpse of where that review's going already. I don't want to bury the lead. Thank you all so much again for your support of the channel. It really does mean the world. And with all that being said, back talk, commence!